is what she comes out and does. Now, we can have arguments about whether or not breakdancing should be at the Olympics. But at least some of them have some athletic skills. This is if I was trying to embarrass my kids and I was like, look at me, kids, I'm breakdancing, when all of their kids are at the house or their friends are at the house, this is what I would do. But this lady went to the Olympics. I think she scammed the Australians into sending her to the Olympics. I think that's what happened. She admitted, I think, in an interview, she doesn't really train. She didn't take it all that seriously. And her only qualification, I think, is that she, as I said, she has a master's or a doctorate in cultural movement. So this late 30s white lady, white lady with no skills whatsoever, thought that her busybody, useless degree, like in another world, she would just be serving you coffee at a woke coffee shop. Instead, she went to the Olympics. And now people making fun of this nonsense, this like, at least Michael Jackson did that in a Thriller video and it looked cool. She's saying that people are mocking me because they are misogynistic. And it's like, no, there were other, you know, who doesn't like lady breakdancers? The lady who stole a spot from a lady who could breakdance, which is what she did. All right. So somebody saw that clip on YouTube of David and I chattering back and forth, and they didn't like what I had to say. They didn't like what I had to say so much that they took the time to go to the Rebel News website and find my email address. And I know they are not a regular watcher of me or Rebel News, and that's indicative in their email to me. But I'll read you the email, and then I'll sort of respond to the email as I go. And then I will read to you from Raygun, Rachael Gunn, no relations, dissertation for her master's. And you can tell me if I'm wrong in my opinions of Rachael Gunn and her absolutely useless degree. Some people become doctors, some people become lawyers. Rachael Gunn became an international laughingstock, and somehow she is a university professor teaching on cultural movement, I guess. Anyways, here's the email that I got from Meredith Valentine. Hi, Sheila. I recently watched your report on the Australian female breakdancer's performance. It wasn't a report. It was a clip from the live stream where we were having a little bit of jokiness with it. Anyway, I'm not arguing your assessment of Raygun's breakdancing, if you can call it that, but your repeated use of the term useless degree in reference to Ms. Gunn's PhD in cultural studies. I counted 3 iterations in just the short time I could stomach of your diatribe. Oh, I hope you're okay. So this is the part that really gets me. Because I'm supposed to be part of the sisterhood of the traveling pants or some baloney, because she's a woman and I'm a woman. And so I'm supposed to support women in all the things they do, even if they're stupid. Okay. Great argument. Then why are you writing to me? Because if I'm a woman that you disagree with, aren't you just supposed to shut up? That's what you'd like me to do, Meredith Valentine. But let's keep going. I'm having fun with this. Any woman who holds a PhD, regardless of the discipline, is someone to be celebrated as a person to look up to, and a woman to hold in esteem, given the amount of work required to obtain a PhD and the fact that women have only been allowed to study for doctorates for less than 100 years. This is how I know she didn't read Raygun's dissertation, but I did. And it's more of an indictment on the university system that she was able to obtain a PhD based on what I read. It's not something to be celebrated to get a degree, to waste your money or your parents' money on a useless degree that basically makes you unemployable, except teaching other people about the useless thing you learned, which, as we find out is what Rachael Gunn does for a living. Because I can't imagine she's getting paid to breakdance. Anyway. Denigrating other women does nothing to empower women as a whole. Oh, I should just shut up? Well, then why don't you shut up? You're denigrating me. Why don't you shut up? Why doesn't everybody just shut up? Or do women that you agree with, they get to talk, but I get to shut up? She may be ineffectual as an Olympic competitor, and how she got there is a mystery, but her degree is far from useless since she is a lecturer at a university and thus gainfully employed using her useless degree. Again, indictment of the university system. And that's literally the only thing that she could do with her university degree is teach other people the useless stuff she learned. What are they going to do? What are they going to do with that? Like I said, probably work at Starbucks. Let's keep going. All your information on her was clearly derived from other media sources, likely Wikipedia. I read her dissertation, Meredith. Judging by the quality of your reporting, and she put reporting in scare quotes, which came across more like a speech by Donald Trump in which he attempts to deflect attention from his personal shortcomings by pointing out another failures. This is how I know you're not a regular Rebel News viewer, if you just showed up to attack Donald Trump. You're in the wrong place, Meredith. Let's keep going. I couldn't find any information about your education, so I am unsure if lack of your own degree is the source of your disgust for hers. I went to trade school, and I'm not embarrassed by that. In fact, we joke at Rebel News, it's one of Ezra's dad jokes, which has made it into my repertoire through osmosis, that the only classically trained journalist at the company is David Menzies, and we don't hold it against him because J schools are a breeding ground for far left-wing activists who masquerade as journalists and not actually journalists, people who are intellectually curious. If so, instead of your chosen method of unfounded public derision for holding a degree in a field you deem useless, by what criteria, I don't know, may I suggest you do the work and get your own. Oh, I should waste a bunch of money to get a degree in what? What should I get a degree in? Perhaps the intersection of tampons in the men's room and the rights of migrant itinerant workers in the cotton industry. Should I write a dissertation on that? Would that make me a smart lady then? Anyway, let's keep going. This may mitigate any feelings of inequality or inferiority on your part. Do I seem inferior? Do I have an inferiority complex? You clearly have the time, since you aren't spending it researching, despite calling yourself a journalist. Again, by what criteria, I don't know. Okay, I'd love to tell you. So I am the editor-in-chief at Rebel News Network, Meredith. I am a woman in journalism, and I am the published author of 3 best-selling books, one of which was only bumped off the top charts when there was a new Harry Potter book that came out. I routinely do stories that are stolen by the mainstream media. For example, I uncovered Trudeau's high-flying meal expenses on his flights that were like in excess of $250,000. Notably, I found how convicted terrorist Omar Khadr hid his $10.5 million that were given to him by Justin Trudeau. He hid it in a strip mall. I also uncovered stories that are routinely stolen by the mainstream media, like Justin Trudeau funding the Wuhan Virology Institute. That's a story that I broke that was covered as an exclusive by the Globe and Mail. And maybe you don't know, Meredith, because Donald Trump may have said it once, and I know how you hate him, that that is the likely source of the COVID pandemic. So anyway. And currently I'm researching 2,200 pages on the systemic application of medical assistance in dying advice to Canada's veterans. Those are documents exclusive to me. I'm in the process of going through them, and I can see the government doing their best to hide their tracks in those documents. So while you say I have so much time, while doing all of those things, I barely have time to do my real job, and that's mother and farmer. You see, I have 3 well-adjusted, productive children, and I'm a farmer, which means that I am, I guess, part meteorologist, probably more meteorologist and weather expert than any environmentalist you'll ever meet. I'm part agronomist. I'm also part accountant and business manager, and I'm definitely a mechanics helper with a very thick skin. So I guess, I'll try to find some more time to do some actual researching to make Meredith happy. And I should tell Meredith that journalism is not a guild you join, but a thing you do. It's a thing you practice every day. And I do that. So, sorry, Meredith.